Herald and said, we don't buy Tua. We watch him at practice every day. I saw the Bears defense last couple of years, didn't give quite the effort. They weren't as good, and it's not because Khalil Mack got lazy or lost his skills. It is hard to sell Trubisky when you trail by 10 starting the fourth. It is hard to sell that to the defense on the sideline. One more stop when the defense is saying, one more stop. It's 3-and-out territory. How long before a coach can lose some of the respect of players when he keeps trying to sell something that anybody can see isn't good?
Well, hold on now, because you're saying we can see that Tua isn't good. Tua hasn't played enough for us to make a judgment on whether he's good or not. You can't make a decision and a determination on a quarterback until about 30 to 32 games.
Oh, boy.
You need plenty of starts to be able to tell whether a guy can play or not. And so I think the big thing that the Miami Dolphins have done, they've done what Aaron Rodgers wants done. They did what Carson Wentz wished would have been done. They got all the distractions out the room. Fitzpatrick is no longer there. They built this team around Tua Tagovailoa. They're giving him every opportunity to really step into the QB1 role. Ultimately, how Tua performs is going to determine whether this team should be confident in him or not. But let's remember this. Tua Tagovailoa was coming off of basically a career-threatening injury. It typically takes 2 years for guys to get back to form from an ACL. I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's just wait and see what he looks like this year. I don't believe the Miami Dolphins have lost confidence in him because, remember, he hasn't really played a lot. He didn't get a full offseason. I think they have plenty of confidence that he is going to be the guy that they drafted him to be.
Yeah, well, Justin Herbert didn't get much of an offseason either. And 5 minutes in, I was like, yeah, that's the guy. I mean, at some point, my eyes tell me the truth. Like, Herbert, 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he didn't have an offseason either. I mean, I don't know. We got a history of Bama quarterbacks getting to the NFL, and the receivers aren't as open. I mean, at some point, it's hard. He's small, doesn't have a big arm, has to have the play perfectly designed, doesn't make stuff happen with his feet. I mean, if you start the year 4-4 and Buffalo's 7-1, isn't that a hard sell in the room?
It depends on how he plays. It depends on how he prepares and how he works. A lot of the confidence will come from the kid. Having known the kid, having watched him from high school to college, whatever, he's an ultimate leader. He's a great competitor. And people will take shots at him, and they've taken shots at him, I would say, unfairly, based on how he's played or how he was supposed to play coming in. But he's a rookie, and guys progress at different levels. I will say this. Typically, when you draft a player, you give that player every opportunity to fail out of the position, particularly when it's a first-round pick and it's a quarterback. We've seen people give Sam Darnold the benefit of the doubt after 3 years. So I think Tua Tagovailoa certainly deserves the benefit of the doubt. He was 6-3 as a starter. He did flash some good things. Everyone wants to see the quarterback that can come right in the league and put the team on his back. More times than not, when guys come into the league, they come in occupying a managerial role before they graduate into a role where they can be the playmaker. I think we need to give him time to see if he can ultimately become the playmaker.
So Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers are trapped. Green Bay's GM says Jordan Love's, quote, got a long way to go. I don't want to hear that. That's not what I want to hear. I mean, when you see a long, and by the way, they own Aaron's rights for 3 years, so he can't just retire. When you hear a long way to go for a kid that had 32 college starts, that's kind of an alarming sentence, isn't it? A long way to go?
Alarming, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to really placate to your very sensitive quarterback one in Aaron Rodgers, who was so sensitive that when Jordan Love was drafted, it really irked him, and he can't get over it a year later. This is a guy that just won an MVP, and he's worried about the backup quarterback, or the mere presence of the backup quarterback drives him to the point where he doesn't want to play. I think what Brian Gutekunst is doing is he's trying to repair the relationship with the starting quarterback. And because Aaron Rodgers has acted out in a very passive-aggressive sense where everyone else is carrying his water, he is trying to make sure that the message that's being conveyed to the public is one that, hey, Aaron, you don't have to worry about it. You're the starting quarterback. This is still your team. But we needed to draft a young quarterback to give us an opportunity to have a peaceful transition into the next phase of the Packers organization's life at the position. And so I think Brian Gutekunst is maybe overselling the fact that Jordan Love has a ways to go to make sure that Aaron Rodgers is very comfortable knowing, hey, you're going to be our quarterback for the next few years.
Sounds like you've turned on Aaron Rodgers a little bit. That's what it sounds like to me.
Look, I haven't turned on him, but I mean, my goodness, like now with quarterbacks, we can't bring anybody in. Every other position is a very competitive position where they don't ask you, hey, we're going to bring your backup in. We're going to bring a young developmental quarterback in. I think if anything, what we've seen, quarterbacks are very sensitive, from Carson Wentz to Aaron Rodgers to even when Tom Brady maybe nudged Jimmy Garoppolo out. The quarterback position is unlike any other position, but if you don't have one, we criticize you for not having one in the pipeline. It really puts general managers in a bad situation, because if you bring one in as the next guy, the guy that is currently holding position bristles at the fact that, oh, I may not be the guy 3-4 years from now. All quarterbacks want a lifetime guarantee that they can be the starting quarterback, and the NFL doesn't work like that.
Bucky Brooks, Fox Sports. Excited for the schedule release tomorrow. Good seeing you, Bucky.
Hey, thanks for having me, Colin. Black
Rifle Coffee Company, veteran-owned. Get 20% off your first purchase. Go to blackriflecoffee.com, code HERD. Join their coffee club. Easiest way to get it. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
You like rankings.
I like what?
Rankings.
Oh, yeah, love them. Love rankings.
USA Today released their rankings of the starting quarterbacks for the 2021 NFL season, and they were broken up into 6 categories.
Oh, they do. Okay, USA Today did this.
Yes.
6 categories. I don't really think there are 6 categories of quarterbacks. What are they?
All right. Well, they started with elite, which is the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Packers, the Seahawks, the Ravens, and the Bills.
Okay, so that's Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. So that's their elite quarterback.
That's their elite.
All right.
Would you argue any of those?
I don't think Lamar's quite there, but he wins a lot. So
he won MVP.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel differently about Russell Wilson. I don't like putting Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson in the same category.
Okay, so maybe you'd bump him down to their next category, very good, which is the Cowboys, Rams, Falcons, and Titans.
I don't know if I'd put Ryan Tannehill in very good. I think Ryan Tannehill had a great coordinator. I don't think I'd.
So would you put Lamar in this category?
I would put Lamar in this category, Matt Stafford in this category, Justin Herbert in this category.
Okay,
Matt Ryan's close to this category. Not quite, but close.
Next is solid.
These are sophisticated titles.
Steelers, Niners, Vikings, Patriots, Lions, Raiders, and Bears.
What timeout? Andy Dalton's in the same category as Cam Newton, Garoppolo,
No.
Jared Goff. Okay, so what's the next level?
So the next one is ascending, which is where Justin Herbert is. Ascending, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers, the Browns, the Cardinals, and the Bengals.
Yeah, but you just went from good to ascending is, why do I have to move to a different genre? Can't we just go, are you good now? And not like adjectives to, okay.
So you don't like these adjectives. Unproven, Jacksonville, Miami.
Thing's a mess.
Eagles, Panthers, and Jets.
USA Today's unproven quarterbacks. Darnold, Zach, Hurts, Tua, Trevor. Okay. Again, I don't know. Are we ranking? I thought it was a tiers of how good you are now, not...
These are their rankings. And then finally, shaky. Washington football team, Colts, Broncos, Saints, Giants, and Texans.
No, Deshaun Watson's not shaky. The franchise is. He's not. This list is a hot mess.
But yeah.
Yeah, this list doesn't...
Okay, so you don't like their categories.
No, I mean, Deshaun Watson's not shaky. Deshaun Watson's great. The organization's shaky.
Well, maybe we'll do Colin's rankings sometime this week.
There's not 6 tiers. There's like...
Well, it's not tiers. It's categories.
How about this? You carry a team. You're good enough to carry a team. Team has to carry you. 2 categories. You want to do that? I need to throw...